I'm sorry, my steering wheel is in the way. You got a beautiful view of my passenger seat. Nobody is here. It is what it is, you guys. I am in Northeast Ohio right now, where I live, and it is 86 degrees. So if I turn off the car, it's going to be a little blazing hot. So I'm going to try to speak up a little bit. You're probably hearing some of the AC going on right now. But the title of this video is "What is CCM dying for?" or what CCM is dying for. And I think I don't have all the answers. I've been in the music ministry for a long, long time. And not necessarily a recording artist. I do have things on Spotify that you can opine at your leisure. If you search up Beyond Arcadia, there's some things over there. And I guess you could put us in the Christian or CCM category. Of course, it's a little different than what you'd hear on Air One and whatnot. But what is CCM dying for? And we'll just dive into it because I don't have much time with you guys. I got about 9 minutes before I have to head off to my apprenticeship, or really get coffee and then apprenticeship. But I wanted to talk to you about the item that has actually appeared in CCM and has been absent for so long. And perhaps you guys have seen this too, and I know you have. If you've been with me in my channel, you're seeing a lot of Josiah Queen. You've seen a few Forrest Frank videos that I've done as well. And I'm just going to pick on those two guys because in the past, when I grew up in the 90s and even early 2000s, CCM is not what it is now. CCM now is like worship music. It's more geared towards the church goers in America and across the world, really. But CCM now is geared toward the Christian that's been a Christian for years and years and years, and it has average church attendance against most people, and has been very loyal to their faith. That's not a bad thing. In fact, there's some good to that. We definitely need music like that. We need the Bethels, the Hillsongs. We do need those guys to make music that we're going to sing on Sunday morning. But we have lost the art of evangelicalism. Not in the sense of what you'd hear on mainstream media, like, you're an evangelical or you're a Catholic or you're a whatever. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about we've lost the art to evangelize our neighbor. In the 90s, and I'm not saying that it was a perfect decade, but even in the late 80s with Petra and bands like Stryper, and of course the 90s had, early 90s, Amy Grant, and mid 90s you had DC Talk, the Newsboys. Bands and artists that could sell out arenas easily. And some of them even got played on top 40 and top 20 radio, DC Talk to be one of those artists. And again, they go from one city to the next, sold out. And their songs are not worship songs. They're more for just life, just in general. So we had bands like this, and Michael W. Smith was part of that movement as well in the early days before his worship album came out, and he kind of switched gears. We lost that. We lost that significantly after, I would say, 2004, 2005, with the advent of Chris Tomlin and a lot of worship artists around the world. We've lost the art of evangelizing our faith through music. It was very easy for us to say, hey, listen to this, listen to Michael W. Smith, listen to Stephen Curtis Chapman, listen to DC Talk, listen to the Newsboys, and whoever you would give that music to, you would definitely get a positive response, or maybe just like, wow, I didn't think music or Christian music was that good. And it was listenable to the person that was a non-believer. If you give a person that's a non-believer a song from Spotify or YouTube, say, hey, listen to this new Bethel song, or hey, listen to this new Elevation song, they're gonna be like, okay, like, what is in it for me? and they're going to be kind of taken aback because it's taken too much of a deep dive into worship. That's not a bad thing. Again, we need those artists. We need, Brandon Lakes and Elevation worship teams and all those things. But we can't have it all one way. And in the 90s, in the early days, there was, a movement for more evangelizing through music. That's why DC Talk and Newsboys and Audio Adrenaline and those guys were so successful, is because they could draw people that were not necessarily Christians into their concert. Everybody would have a great time. 2 hours goes by, everybody goes home, and everybody can say, you know what? It was a positive experience. If you go to a CCM event nowadays, where it's a worship event, worship-based event, and you bring a non-believer, they're going to be caught off guard and think, is this church? What am I supposed to be doing here? And it's not an offense to them, and it's not an offense to the people on the platform, but it's not for everybody. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Whereas if you had somebody that was more a broad stroke, if you will, you could bring in more people. So the crux of this is, what is CCM dying for? We're dying for people that have a tenacity, if you will, to evangelize their music. We're dying for people that could send the message or spread the message, really, through their songs, through their music, through their art, without being exclusively worship music. There is always a time and a place for worship music. Trust me. You're going to go to church on Sunday morning. You're going to need new songs. Scripture says to sing a new song to the Lord. I am so appreciative of new artists and new songs that come my way all the time. And without them, I wouldn't have this channel, right? But at the same time, I long for the days where I grew up as a kid and I could turn on, in Cleveland, it was 104.9, and I could listen to anything. And again, I have friends in the back of the van, my Vinny van, Dodge Caravan, and listen to that, and they would be bopping to the music, and we'd all be having a great time. Not that you can't do that with our artists today, but it's very important to have that entry point, I guess you could say, with CCM artists. So I have to say, I got to give a shout out to two people, and I already mentioned them, Forrest Frank and Josiah Queens. So thank you guys for doing this again. We're seeing this interest in making music that is exclusively Christian, but it is not worship music. And it's so refreshing to hear that again and have it be good again. And again, I don't want to knock the artists that have been around in the industry for the past 15-ish years, but to be honest, the impact these two guys have had in the past 2 years, incredible. So I'm very appreciative of Josiah Queen, very appreciative of Forrest Frank, and even Lauren Daigle. Lauren Daigle's been doing an amazing job, and I know she gets a bad rap in some respects, but she's been just a great example of what you can do in your art and not have it be exclusively for Sunday morning. I long for the days where we can have both 50-50, and I don't think that'll ever happen, but it would be interesting to see how things are going to go and how things are going to play out, because people see the success with Josiah Queen's music, and especially Forrest Frank's music. He has a great campaign on social media. I think he's going to do amazing. I know his album, I think, just came out recently too, but to see their success, I think people are going to copy and paste that formula. You're going to see that a lot. Is that right? I don't know. I think people like their creativity, and that's what they're drawn for. They're drawn for their creativity, their authenticity, and the fact that they're not afraid to evangelize through their art, and it doesn't have to be marketed specifically to people that go to church on Sunday morning. That is my what is CCM dying for, you guys. And I know that that might be kind of deep for some of you if you've never explored that topic. Hey, thanks for bearing with me. I want to give a little shout out to my wife. It was Mother's Day yesterday, and my mom. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you. You're amazing. To my wife, I love you also, and I thank you so much for everything you do for the kids, for Andy and Evelyn. So cool, so amazing. And to all the moms out there, happy belated Mother's Day. You guys do an amazing job. I don't know how you guys do it, honestly. As a dad, I know a little bit, but as moms, hey, you guys are amazing, and you're heroes in your kids' eyes and in your spouse's eyes as well. Thanks so much for joining this live stream, you guys. Hey, check this product out. I tagged a product in the description, and it goes along with the title. If you didn't see what I got the chance to talk about, go check it out. It was What is CCM Dying For? And essentially, it's basically evangelization through music. That's what we're dying for. Go check that out as soon as you can. And hey, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button also. And you can go check out my tutorials. There's a bunch of information in the description that you can check out and opine at your leisure. All right, thanks so much, you guys. I'm going to grab a coffee and head to my apprenticeship. So I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.